Now, you probably know the story of Danielle Busby and her family. Her 5 little girls were born at just 28 weeks. Of course, they all had to spend time in the NICU. Her babies had varying lengths of stay there, different challenges on their journey, and that journey has actually been documented and is being documented right now. You may have seen season 1 of her hit show OutDaughtered that's on TLC earlier this year. It'll be on once again this fall when season 2 launches. And you might see the cameras here in the building with us, which is exciting. Since she is such a veteran of the NICU after having 5 babies spend time there, who better than Danielle Busby to tell you what it's like? We are so honored that Danielle is here with us today to share our story and how she received support through the March of Dimes NICU Family Support Center program. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Danielle Busby to the stage.
Hello. So the first time I really realized how many people it took and takes to care of quintuplets was the first time I walked into the NICU. I remember being in the bed and the nurses willing me in to see the babies. The first thing I saw was all the doctors and the nurses and all those beeping noises. And then we pulled up to this little space-age crib, and Adam and I looked over and saw our little babies who were just 2 pounds. I remember the tubes that were in because they were intubated, and all the sounds of those alarms and the beepings, and when they got faster and slower. And, whew. My name is Danielle Busby, and on April 8th, my husband and I gave our 5-year-old daughter Blayke 5 baby sisters. Adam and I had always wanted to be parents, but after well over a year of trying to conceive, we discovered that we had fertility problems. So we started that long process of infertility treatments. After months of doctor visits and infertility with our infertility specialist and several IUI procedures, we finally were pregnant and God gave us our beautiful Princess Blayke. About 3 years later, Adam and I had a desire to grow our family. We knew that we would undergo the same round of procedures as we did for baby number 2 that we did with Blayke. And having most of the guesswork out of the way, we did the same regimen. And just 2 months later, we were finally pregnant. Never would we have imagined what God had planned for us on our journey to grow our family. We definitely were in shock when He told us the big surprise that, guess what? You're pregnant with quintuplets. Then we were surprised to find out that they were all girls. I'll still never forget that day. I have an amazing family and friends, and we're all really close. I have 2 sisters, Ashley and Crystal, and our husbands, Nick and Dell. My mom, my mother-in-law, and all my great friends have been the best support that anyone could ask for. But I had no idea that I was about to get the most incredible support from the Women's Hospital of Texas. It all started with my maternal fetal specialist. Some of you may know him, Dr. Ryder. I saw him every other week. Sweet. I saw him every other week, and I had an unheard of diet, which I had to intake 4,500 calories. 4,500 calories. Having this diet meant I had to throw out everything I knew about eating. It was protein, calories, dessert before the salad, and it just was so hard to actually do that, believe it or not. I had a very active lifestyle before I had the quints, and I wanted to do everything I could for the quints. So eating 4,500 calories was my job every day. The goal was to do whatever I had to for the babies. I knew that they were going to be premature and that they were probably going to be small, so I wanted to do my best to get them as healthy as I could. At 25 weeks, I went into the hospital, per Dr. Ryder's recommendation, so that we could monitor the quints daily. Not having any idea how long I'd be in there, I just remember thinking, how am I going to get through these days so long as Adam went to work and Blayke was at home or at daycare. But I was lucky to be at the Women's Hospital of Texas, and they had a both incredible Child Life team and March of Dimes antepartum support program. They visited me often and did a great job educating me on the premature babies. They brought me a very informative book called The Essential Guide to Caring for Your Preemie, which became very helpful, especially once we had the babies in the NICU. The book and information that I got was incredibly helpful, but as you go, a little stir-crazy being in the hospital room all day. The March of Dimes antepartum team also provided ways to socialize with other mothers on the floor. We were able to connect with one another and to provide support and stress during our high-risk pregnancies. When Wednesday came around, I remember being so excited for this day. I usually tell my friends, don't visit me on Wednesday. Wednesday's when I get to get out of the room. And we'd do social activities as moms, and they would have massages for us or craft activities, and I'll never forget that wreath I made that it's never been hung up because I'm not good at that. They kept telling me, take it to your room, you can finish it. Yeah, I don't have that talent. We were able to connect with one another, and those are memories that I'll have forever. Both the Child Life and March of Dimes support teams hold a very special place in my heart, not only for the things I mentioned, but for two huge milestones that I went through. One of those milestones was Blayke's birthday. 3 days before my pregnancy goal, which was 28 weeks, it was her birthday. It broke my heart that I couldn't give her the birthday that she needed and wanted. We were not just changing this child's life with a sibling, we were dramatically giving her a completely different life with 5 babies at one time. And I just wanted her birthday to be everything she wanted. Let me get my tissues out right now already. I was so thankful for these teens and wanting to make this day super special for Blayke. They put together a wonderful princess party for her. There was balloons, there was a face painting person there, there was cakes. We were able to invite my family and friends there, and it just really was like such a special moment to be able to have for Blayke, because I was stuck in the hospital. I couldn't give her this fabulous party, but they made it fabulous for us. And just to see Blayke's shining face, it made all of it worth it. But then, a few days later, I hit that big goal of 28 weeks. I made it to the safe zone, which was Dr. Ryder's goal. Let's get to 28 weeks. And I was like, I want 30. But really, anything that came after 28 weeks was just a day-by-day bonus. I was determined to get the quints at least 2 pounds or get them to 30 weeks. But as we know, God laughs when we try to make our own plans. And 2 days later, I had those babies. It was literally go time. An enormous team of doctors and nurses, led by Dr. Ryder, helped me deliver all 5 baby girls in less than 4 minutes, weighing 2 pounds, between 2 pounds and 2 pounds 6 ounces. All I wanted to do after delivery was just see my babies. I felt like days went by until I could see them. I finally got to see one while I was in recovery. Riley was ruled out to me. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, she actually does look like a baby. I had no idea what I was expecting to see a child born at 28 weeks, what that was really going to look like. Her skin was sticky. She was actually born with no nipples yet, just because they weren't completely developed. They weren't finished growing. The next chapter of the NICU began. They were quickly taken off to the NICU, where all 5 babies received oxygen and a dose of surfactant, which was an intervention that was discovered and funded by the March of Dimes. None of the quints had brain bleeds, which was a huge blessing, given that they were born at 28 weeks. Some of them had small PDAs, but all of that recovered after a few months. Some of the biggest struggles we faced were with Riley and Ava. Adam and I visit the girls. Oh gosh, this is going to be hard. Adam and I visit the girls daily, multiple times a day. And this particular day, of day 3, we were stopped at the doors when we walked into the NICU. And we were told Riley's lung had collapsed. And that's something you don't ever want to hear when you walk into the NICU and they tell you, hold on. You're like, what? What just happened? Your body just instantly turns like this. Adam and I were actually talking about this the other night, and it's just one of those moments that I try to forget, but it was such a powerful presence of God around us that it's something I will never forget. Just remember feeling so helpless. Thankfully, we had these amazing doctors and nurses that acted so quickly to insert a tube and to get Riley breathing. Shortly after, Ava got a staph infection, and this was really scary to us. She had to be isolated the remaining of her stay, and I hated how she had to be separated from the others. But we also made the joke that, well, this is one time you'll have something to yourself. So the rest of your life you'll be sharing. We've definitely had ups and downs, but we're completely blessed and amazed at the doctors and nurses at the Women's Hospital of Texas. Even on the good days, when everything's going as planned and perfect, it's so hard to see your children just sitting there in the NICU. I had my first Mother's Day with the quints while they were in the NICU. This was another one of those special moments where these support teams and incredible nurses, as well as Adam, made this day extra special for me. They made a beautiful poster of pictures with the quints, their footprints, and other memorable things. It was so sweet. Just the love and support from all the people that were around us. I don't think I ever envisioned that we would have that much care. I mean, our babies are in the NICU, and it just was, they actually cared for us, and they cared for these babies, and it just truly showed through them. We spent 12 weeks in the NICU, and it was the hardest days I've ever had to experience. It was hard to feel connected to the quints. There was no one-on-one connection like I felt when I had Blayke, where I instantly got to hold her. I struggled with, did they know I was their mommy? I felt just helpless. There was nothing I could do for them. Just sit there and pray for them, and pray for the day I got to hold one of them. Next tissue. They would just lay there with tubes everywhere. And you constantly heard those beeping noises. And when those noises got faster, you stressed out. Even if it wasn't your baby in there. What's that? What's that noise? Oh my God, what's wrong? What's wrong? Calm down. It's okay. Thank you. Yeah, so as a mother, those noises were just, the second I hear it, if I ever hear that on TV, or I hear those noises when we were watching the OutDaughtered show, and I heard those noises, I was just instantly, it triggered me. Like, holy cow. It was just such a hard, stressful time. I hated the fact that I had to leave them when I was discharged from the hospital. It was part of me left behind. I was torn and I was pulled in multiple ways. I used to call myself the split mama. I had Blayke at home, I had 5 babies in the hospital, and there just was never enough time to spend with all of them. Especially with Ava being in isolation, it made it hard. Because we had 3 together in a pod, and then 2 together in a pod. And then when Ava had to get isolated, that made a 3rd location to visit. So when Adam and I would visit, we would get to see 3 babies, and then 2 babies, which then became 2 babies, and then 1 baby. And you had to see Ava last, because once you went in isolation, you had to leave. You weren't allowed to go back into the NICU. So we really had to plan this out, but let me tell you, you've got 5 babies in there, and that you just don't get to have with you all day. And so when you finally get to see one, and then finally those days when we got to like change a diaper and actually pick them up, and you're scared to death. You're like, you want to hold your baby, you want to touch your baby so bad, but the second they say, go ahead, you're like, I don't want to hurt her. Oh my God, like, what do you mean I can touch her? Like, I've been wanting that, but I don't want to break her, you know? But before I left the hospital, I prayed and prayed that I could just hold one, just hold one. That was that instant feel that you feel like a mom. When I had Blayke and they instantly handed to me, that was something I missed. And I know this because I had a daughter before, but I probably wouldn't have known it if I didn't have her before. But having these quints and seeing such precious life so early and so small, and them trying to survive every day, there's nothing you want to do more as a mom, it's just hold them all. It's something I couldn't do right away. They had to hold their body temperature to be able to get out of their little isolates. And the day that I was leaving to get discharged, it was just the end. It was the end of me. I just could not take the pictures off in my room and just walk out of there and leave my life there, you know. And so that day, we went to say goodbye to the babies, which is. And I was able to hold Olivia. She was finally warm enough to take out. It just seemed like every time I went in there to try to hold one, their temperatures would drop. I'm like, what are you doing to me? I just want to hold you. To finally feel the touch of just one of them. Skin to skin, she just laid right here on my chest, literally the size of my hand. And the tears just poured down my face. I didn't want to let go. I finally felt like I was mommy. But one thing is for certain. As hard as it was to leave the quints in the NICU, we could not have asked for better staff at the hospital. The NICU support, family programs they did. These people play a huge part of helping our baby survive and helping Adam and I survive through these challenging times. We're so thankful for these amazing, talented, and skilled teams that were there caring for all of us. The connection each doctor, nurse, and volunteers have with the babies and us, it really showed in their heart that they cared and loved their job. And this is one reason why we are so thankful and we love the Women's Hospital of Texas. I'm so happy that Adam, my mom, sisters, and friends are here as well. After I left this incredible support team at the hospital, I was greeted by all these amazing friends and family at home. God has shown us so much love and grace. We couldn't have done it without them. It really does take a village to raise this family. And I just want you all to know how grateful Adam and I are for all that you helped us with every step of the way. Thank you.